Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on CNBC News, NBC News, and NBC Sports Radio station KCAA, home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, GeoSun, and so much more. Why so many places? Because this is a show about hope and happiness, and it's my Happy 88 mission that 88 million of you are 88% happy in the next 8 years. So I have topics and guests to that end. If you missed my fabulous interview with Layla Ali last week, you can get it on my YouTube channel. So free subscribe there and you'll get all of my past 834 shows. But who's counting? This the 552nd consecutive week about a show that has no gossip, no scandal, and no K words, no Kardashian talk, no Kanye talk, no whatever he's calling himself talk, because I want to focus on you and how you can be happy 88% of the time. And today is the first or third Wednesday, so I am delighted to bring back to you my wonderful co-host for Real Women Talk. Her name is Professor, author, and more, Colette Tracy. Welcome back to the studio.
Thanks, Dr. Marissa.
Yes, you are absolutely welcome. And we're going to start, as per usual, with breakfast with Colette Tracy and Dr. Marissa. We're going to have a bite of my gratitude sandwich. I'd like to also welcome in the 21-day fast from complaining group, the Facebook group that I'm patching in today. So if you're seeing this and you're in the group, please do stream and put your comments in. How are you doing on the 21-day fast from complaining? And certainly having breakfast with starting with gratitude is going to help you with that. So 8 specific things that we are grateful for. You know the drill. Colette, why don't you start with your first specific gratitude?
Okay, I am grateful to be celebrating another birthday on the planet. So my birthday is December 19th.
Oh, wow. So pretty soon. Let's see.
Yeah.
12 days?
Yeah.
Cool. So that'll be before the next time you're on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So happy birthday, dear Colette Tracy, co-host of Real Women Talk. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, so
yay. I'm glad I'm probably the first person to sing you happy birthday.
You certainly are. Thank you.
Of course. And I am grateful to have co-hosts like Colette and Yorona and Sam Works who make my show a little more interesting in the morning because we get to play on different topics, and I'm grateful for that. What are you grateful for?
I am grateful that I have started a diet, actually, believe it or not, early November, and I have lost a couple pounds already. So during the holiday season, I'm happy for that, for sure.
Yay. I am grateful that I now, since February 14th, Project Love My Body 2.0, have lost 31 pounds. Woo! And I'm very happy about that.
Good.
Very grateful.
I am grateful for my health also.
Yes. I am grateful that I get to babysit. You'll see him come up He had a sleepover last night, my grand dog's son, and I just put up a really funny video of 3 Frenchies playing. So you have to go to my social, Doc Balance on Instagram, Dr. Marissa everywhere else, and my YouTube channel, even though I got a copyright strike because I used the boxing video, but it was just like too funny. So I'm grateful that I get to be Mima or Grandma to a 4 pod. Last gratitude.
I'm grateful for the holiday season. Time to reflect. It's a bittersweet time, which I know we're going to talk about today, but yeah, I'm grateful for the holidays and everyone getting together and celebrating, doing our best to celebrate the season.
Great. And I am grateful for technology that allows me to do this show from the comfort of my living room. So I can go hit the gym and the pool in the morning before the show.
So nice.
All right. Those are our 4 gratitudes. Top of the bun. Then the bottom of the bun is appreciation. And that's appreciation of yourself. So the top of the bun, we usually talk about others and what we're grateful for outside of ourselves. The appreciations for the inside. If we appreciate ourselves, that we're less likely to be scrambling around with our antenna up, looking at who likes me, who approves of me, literally who likes me on social media. Instead, we can ground ourselves in the peace and comfort of knowing who we are, imperfectly perfect, and highlighting the things that we do like about ourselves. So, Colette, I'll let you start it off again.
I am loving my resilience. Yeah, I would say that. Definitely beautiful times, but challenging in a good way. And I'm definitely appreciating my resilience.
Fantastic. I appreciate my sense of humor and my easy laughability to things around me.
Okay. I appreciate my focus.
I appreciate my creativity in the way with words, especially, and I like to make stuff up and play with words.
And I'm going to borrow that, Dr. Marissa. I appreciate my creativity with words and bringing people together and ideas. Love that.
And last one, oh no, wait, how many are we? This is my third one. This is my third one, right? I appreciate my eye in being able to see things that are fun, loving, funny, interesting. I appreciate that I get to see with a child's eye most of the time.
Great. That is great.
Thank you. Last one.
I thought I was done. It's okay. I appreciate my ability to love music and be moved by music.
Beautiful. I appreciate my ears that I can hear amazing music. And I also know a little bit of sign language that I think is the most beautiful language in the world.
Yes.
Yeah. And there it is. Thank you for having breakfast with Colette and I this morning in December as we move forward into this thing called the holidays. And Colette's going to introduce the topic. If you have any opinion about it or any experiences or any advice that you would also like to give, as we are solution focused, but we always start with the opportunity and the reality of what it is like for many people, and put the moose on the table, which is my Canadian version of the elephant in the room, about what we're going through now. So Colette, I'll let you take it away.
Well, to speak to that, Dr. Marissa, I think that we all, at least most of the people I've talked to and read about and know, we all experience a little bit of melancholy around the holidays. I think that's true because there's expectation. Yes, there's always expectation. But the other part is that we can't help but really reflect, on what's gone on in our lives for the year, because this is the last month of the year as well. So I think that we tend to do that even if we're not consciously realizing that. So I think that, one of my favorite books that came out this year by Susan Cain is called Bittersweet. And I look at it in the sense of my book, Both Sides Now, because you really, but what she says that's different, which is really kind of a supplement, which is great, is that you've got to kind of embrace melancholy sometimes because it actually comes with joy. Okay, it's a bittersweet experience, and I think especially here in the United States, we just think we need to be up and going and moving and doing constantly, and we need to really understand that if we don't feel like that, or if we feel a little melancholy, to honor that. Okay, and that's what I believe. And we'll talk more about that, but yeah.
Beautiful. And if you've just tuned in because you're just a little late this morning, then welcome to the show. And this is Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show, and the special series every first and third Wednesday of the month, Real Women Talk. And we're talking about the holidays, bah humbug versus happy holidays, literally. And we're also, so we don't forget, towards the end of the show, we're going to talk about I can't believe I've not talked about this. So thank you for this great idea. Celebrating from different experiences because of ethnicity and heritage and race or religion, talking about the diversity and celebrating the holidays. So we're also going to be talking about that. So feel free to chime in. And I do absolutely agree with you on this one, that it is important to not always be happy. That's why I say 88% of the time. And that melancholy, as long as we don't immerse ourselves and get stuck in it, I think it's a beautiful emotion to be melancholic. And I use this, I talked about this yesterday, but in case you haven't tuned in, you didn't tune in yesterday, emotions are like a dumb waiter door. I'm not calling you dumb. I'm saying that if you cut out melancholy or cut out anger or cut out frustration and anger, then this side of happiness, joy, peace, wonder, bliss, enthusiasm, exaltation, all of those high vibrating emotions get also narrowed. So you become this narrow, how you doing? I'm fine. How you doing? I'm fine. How you doing? I'm fine. And fine stands for effed up, irrational, neurotic, and emotional. So we don't want to be fine. We want that range of emotions. So yes, absolutely. It is not only okay, but important to feel a little melancholic during the holidays. So holiday blues, absolutely. My formula, though, is no more than 12%. If you do more than 12% and then you become one of those people who say, I hate the holidays, I can't wait for it to get over. So overwhelming, and people are mean, and traffic is horrible, and blah, 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 and that Scroogey, attitude. So and it is perspective. So many high achieving women are not crazy about the holidays because they've taken it upon themselves. Let's recognize the choice factor in this. They're hosting, so they're cooking. They have to go buy stuff. They also have to do everything they were doing before, and the decorations because my husband didn't put them up, so I got to do it myself, and I got to clean the house, and I've got to take care of the invites, and I have to take care of my elders, and I have to take care of my kids. On top of everything, I do the whole dinner with the turkey and the ham and the stuffing and all of that, and no wonder I don't like the holidays, because I am completely exhausted. And that is not how we want to go into the holidays. So, so my first piece of advice for people who are the recovering overachievers is, you know what, this year let someone else do it, or go away. I think you mentioned that before.
We
Just
did that.
the
Yeah.
holidays, go on a vacation.
Or
So
even after the holiday. I'm sorry to interrupt, but even after the holiday, a short one. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So that would be, what are you taking on and then blaming others for?
hmm And I couldn't agree more. And I love your doc balance. I love the balance thing because that's what I would say. We don't want to let ourselves wallow, in melancholy. Of course not. But I think that as being human and being for real, sometimes we have to feel those emotions. And I think what we do is, especially as women, we have so much judgment about it to ourselves. Okay, I
Mhm.
should be, I wish I'm supposed to. I need to do this. I need to do that. We need to kind of try to really think about that balance and how do we create that balance in life. And it's not always going to work. And the thing is, what you're saying, I get it. I totally agree. As women, we put so much on ourselves. Really, we want to be doing these things ourselves. But the problem is, we have bought into this myth of a woman being superwoman and she can and does everything. And I was just having this conversations with one of my friends this morning, even it's like, you know, you have to put some things aside. You know what I mean? Like, nobody has or does it all. I don't care what they show in front of you, what you see on social media, especially sometimes, it is not. So we have to make choices and we have to plan and figure out, where we're going to put our priorities. Okay. I mean, that's a part of life in general. That could fall over into the New Year's resolution. Just really being kinder to yourself, deciding where your priorities are, and making sure you're okay with that. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because the problem is, I do this when I'm teaching sometimes. Sometimes if I'm very stressed or it's different, I'm beating myself up in my head the
Yeah.
whole time. I'm trying to concentrate and speak with my students and relay the info, but I'm thinking to myself, oh, why didn't you do that? Or you didn't do that. Da, 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 da. This is what we do. This is what we do. And I agree. We can't stay in bad mood. We can't stay in melancholia. We can't stay in depression. We have to give ourselves the time. Okay, take the time for that. Like you said, 12%. And then really make a conscious choice to shift gears because,
Yes.
a joy is really a choice. I mean, some days, I'll wake up and everything seems aligned, even though it's the same situation that was going on yesterday. Okay, but it's a different mood. It's a different way of looking at it. We can train ourselves to do that, but we're the
Absolutely.
ones that have to do it. And,
Absolutely.
one more thing too, about having loved ones that are gone at this time of the year. It's going to be difficult, but just be aware and celebrate them in your mind. Yes, it's hard. Maybe you need to talk about it with like for me, you know, um, 5 years ago I lost my mom, and then 4 years ago I lost my brother. Well, all of our family did. So we talk about it. Talk about it, honor them, but then switch gears again to you're right here, you're right now. So, thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So much to unpack and to use to calm yourself. And I don't know which, you opened great doors. I don't know which one to go through first.
I'm sorry. I was long
That's all
winded, but
right. You were on a roll. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. But I want to go to what I think is one of the core things on how you can change your bah humbug Scrooge. If you're moving more than 12% in that area, if you're a person who says, I hate the holidays, if you're a person who says, I can't wait for them to be over, my challenge is to you. Um, isn't this an opportunity to really have a different kind of holiday, because you'll never get it back? there's no do-overs. So holiday season 2022 will never be here again. It's one and done. So do you really want that attitude of rushing through it and missing out on all of the deliciousness that can happen, food and otherwise? So one of the biggest reasons we miss out is, like you just said, we're in our heads. We're not in the present, which is a gift. We're not thinking about all the good. We're thinking about all what's wrong. And that will rob you of this holiday season. You will automatically add Scrooge to your label that you're going to walk around with. So my hope is that you use a tool that I have in my 8 Ways to Happiness from wherever you are, which is name your critic. Name that voice that tells you that you haven't done it right, or it hasn't been enough, or you could do more. And when I name that name, it's an automatic choice point where then I can say, oh, come on. That's not really true. And thank you, critic. And my critic's name is Rose. And guess what? My mom's name, my Chinese mom's name is Rose. Not, hey, not bashing her. Not bashing her. But as soon as I identify that it's the critic, then I can soothe my critic and just say, Rose, darling, thank you very much for the comment. Thank you very much for the input. You got to be tired. You've been yelling at me for ageless number of years. Have a seat. You need a vacation. Put your seatbelt on. I got this. I'm driving. And there's so many beautiful things I want to stir in as I'm making my famous abundance brownies. No, it doesn't have that kind of abundance in it. But when I'm stirring, when I'm cooking, I'm not thinking about what's going to be cooked next. I'm there with my batter and stirring in joy and love and wonder and bliss and peace and good wishes for the people that are going to eat my food. I am there when someone comes in and they're thanking me for hosting. I can really feel their appreciation. So it is a choice. Unconditional love, people think means you love no matter what. Yes, that's true, no matter how bad a person is, but really unconditional anything means no matter what the condition is, I'm just going to do it, or I'm just going to be it. So unconditional happiness or unconditional joy means I'm going to choose joy. I'm going to choose happiness. I'm going to choose to be here in the present, which is a gift. Every moment, that's the choice. So then I have to soothe any voice that doesn't allow me to be in that space.
That is wonderful and so true.
Thank you. Yeah. What's your critic's name?
You know what? Colette. Yes. I mean, I think about my mom too, definitely through the years. It was always, and the funny thing is she's gone and I miss that voice in my ear. I can't believe it sometimes, but it's like, Mom, what should I do? Kind of thing. Right. But so I really look at it as myself. Okay,
I'm going to interrupt for 1 second though. You yourself are balanced, centered Colette. So I want you to pick another name for your critic. You are not the critic. So if I'm gonna force you to do this exercise just as a practice. You don't have to, take it up. But I think that honestly, I'm interested in how this will be for you this week, or until I see you in 2 weeks. So instead of saying Colette, quit yelling, quit da 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 da, is thank you very much. What was your mom's initials?
Oh, I can say her name. It's no problem. Her name was Aggie.
Aggie. And again, this is not slamming your mother.
No.
But it is a quick identification that you're in the critic mode that is not helping you. So thank you very much, Aggie. I love you so much. I know that you're trying to be well-meaning, but sometimes you're more mean than well. thank you for the way that your criticism helped me. But
Mhm.
right now, I'm teaching a class and I really need to focus on my delivery and not have to fight you too.
Mhm.
So that
So
is a
true.
way to get you back into balance centered Colette, who is who you really are.
Thank
Try
you.
that.
Yeah.
I would love to
Yeah.
hear what happens, and see if that helps you. It's helped a
Yeah.
lot of people, coaching
Mhm.
clients, but
Mhm.
we'll see how you do with that.
I'll try that. And
Thank
next
you.
and next week's the last week, so I'll probably be in a good mood, but I know she'll still be there, uh,
Yes.
telling
Yeah.
me what I haven't
And
done.
not just there, wherever you are,
Yeah.
your critic comes with you. And a lot of my coaching clients rob themselves of their birthright to happiness by always being in that critical place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then let's move on to the second part where you were talking about missing loved ones. And that is truly one of the reasons why, well, it is the reason why holiday blues is holiday blues and why people sometimes really don't like the holidays.
Mhm.
And so let's talk about missing people. You said
Mhm.
you lost your mom and your brother, and at this point I know for sure they're not lost.
I
We're
know.
missing them, but they're
Yeah.
not lost. We
I
know where
I
they are. They're on the other side, and where there's no pain, there everybody who comes back says there's music and it's warm and it's light. So
Mhm.
that's the first anchor point for anybody who's feeling holiday blues is it's so easy to think of people in their last breath tragedy, their last moment if they were killed, their last month or year if they were sick. And we forget that they were so much more than
Yeah.
those last negative things.
Yeah.
So tell me one beautiful memory that you have of your mom that makes you smile or laugh.
Mm. Well, since we're talking about the season, we used to have Christmas Eve at my mom and dad's. My mother, she was always loved to be vibrant. She loved to be young. In fact, for as long as I can remember, she loved everything I wore, everything that had, she just wanted the same things. And she had a very young spirit. I'll never forget. She was having open heart surgery. She was going in to have open heart surgery. She was 83 years old, and she had all her makeup on and her lipstick. And I said, "Mom, you're all dressed up." Well, if you're going to die, you better look good when you're going to die. So it was her way, and she was fun loving. Yeah, and she was always alive. So that's what I remember the most about her.
That's awesome. That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So, if you're going to remember people who are not here for the holidays and that first moment of sadness, you can follow it up by stories. And I know I do this in my family. My dad left of lymphoma, 8 months, pretty quick. It was not pretty. And I can put myself in this really dark, melancholic, really uh, bleak place. And I used to do it on a regular basis on his birthday, on Father's Day, over the holidays. And one year I said, why am I doing this? Why am I choosing to put myself in this place? So that's when I started, okay, I can allow myself to feel sad for a California minute.
Hmm.
And then I'm going to conjure up and remember something amazing that I learned from him, that I remember of him. And Colette, that example was perfect. I'm
Thank
going to put that down as her tagline. So she said, "I want to look good when I die," something
you.
like that.
She's like, well, if you're gonna die, you got to look good. And
There you go. I think
what
that's quotable.
what was so funny, and in it was a sad time, of course, but my sister and I, when my mom was in hospice, we put lipstick on her every day, and I played some Italian music. She loved Connie Francis, uh, the songs that she does in Italian, and so I grew up hearing that. When I got older in my own home, when I'm cooking or whatever, I still do it. And we played those songs that she loved, and yeah.
Yeah, that's another great way. Bringing forth things that your loved one loved,
Mhm.
favorite foods, favorite music, favorite movies. Again, sharing all those things that were good and wonderful. And the Happy 88 tool is called Remember Them Whole.
Yeah.
Remember them whole. So hopefully you will do that. Colette, tell us about the book that Both Sides Now, because I think it's important. You took your experiences as a high overachieving woman and put them in where we can find the book.
Okay, we can find it at Amazon, Barbara's bookstores. It's online. I don't know if they have any on site right now, but Barnes and Noble. Uh, it's also IndieBound, and of course, online. There's ebook on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. So yeah, and I also have Kindle Vella, which I know is getting a lot of readers are reading that. And that is really an extension of Both Sides Now. And it's called The Best of Both Sides. And it really has to do with what I've been learning since I wrote the book and in workshops and classes that I've been teaching. So, yeah, so it's like an extension of maybe what wasn't covered in the book.
Great. I'm
Thank
just
you.
pulling it up now so you'll get a nice visual of that. Let's see. This is one of the great things about technology.
Mhm.
So there you go. This is the Barnes and Noble. That's what the cover looks like. So great holiday idea if you are so inclined to get her book. And what's the most important thing that someone can learn about in your book?
I think really what is the I think standout thing is perspective. You know, I say changing the lens, take a new picture, those kinds of things. Uh, but it's really perspective, and that life has so much to do with that. And I'm sure we've all heard. Life is uh, 90% of what is it? 10% attitude is 10% of what happens or how we take it, 90% of how we feel about it, right?
Yes.
And we know that there has to be sometimes it has to be real. You have to be real with yourself. You have to allow yourself. But yeah, I would say that really perspective, how you view you,
Mm-hmm.
is the most important thing. And the other thing would be that life is negative and positive, and many times it's simultaneous. Okay, and so if you've got something negative going on in your life or something that's difficult, don't forget to take a look at the positive that is right there, just on the other side, and focus on the best as much as you can. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Thank you.
And of course, and then to balance that out, I'm going to share my own book too. That is a great holiday season. I'm actually sold out myself on my website, but if you go to Barnes and Noble or Amazon, you can get a copy, and you know. I can certainly sign it for you. So drmarissa.life. I'm going to give a copy away today as my Asian Oprah giveaway, not a hard copy, but an audio book. So the first person to go to drmarissa.life and put in holiday blues, that'll be my gift to you to circumvent the holiday blues. So that is today's Asian Oprah giveaway.
Mm.
So, if you've just tuned in and you're wondering, who is in the studio with me. I know you've seen her before. We are doing our special series called Real Women Talk, and Colette Tracy is the author of Both Sides Now. She's a professor, she's a professional, she's a coach, she does many different things, and she's also my co-host for this special series. And we are on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. It's an AM 1050, FM 106.5. NBC News Radio, CNBC News Radio, and NBC Sports, AM, FM, streaming everywhere, home to the Asian Oprah. And we've been talking about holiday blues, Scrooging, and humbugging, and how to get to the other side. So we're singing Happy Holidays to you. And yes, retired lounge lizard I am. And you can tune in. We're having every year I do a holiday sing special, so we'll be doing that again. And the show's coming up tomorrow. We're going to be talking about when to have sex. When you're dating. How's that for a good morning topic? Just doing a little promo for my Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa and Sam Works. We're having a very special guest tomorrow. His name is Clyde Terry. You will know him if you watch the intro that we play, or I play during the news at the top of the show. You'll remember kind of raising your eyebrows at the gentleman who said, you know, if I'm not going to have sex from you, I'm going to go somewhere else. Well, he's going to come and defend his words and come back to the studio tomorrow. So you'll want to tune in for tomorrow's show with that. Next week, I'm having Mark from Mark and Brian, if you're a KLOS fan. Again, please go to my YouTube channel, free subscribe if you've missed any of the shows. So now we're going to come and talk about different heritage's way of celebrating the holidays, which is something we've never talked about. So I'm glad you brought that topic up. So I'm going to start with you. I know you're Italian. Italiano.
Yeah. And my dad, he was not Italian, but he was American, right? He was French, Swedish, Irish, but he took on a lot of the Italian values and traditions. So it was so much fun. So I love talking about this. So it goes really generations. And one of the things I will say that I think it might really be an Italian thing to some extent too, is to celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve. And so it used to be that we would, when we were kids, we would go to my grandmother's on my dad's side, and it was always such a treat. Of course, it's not necessarily what we did there was ethnic, but she had 25 grandchildren, and she would make us all wait till midnight to open the gifts. And so it was so much anticipation, so much fun being with the cousins. And then my grandmother passed, my mom and dad had it at their house. So my dad, he was an excellent cook and baker, and he made homemade pizza. You know, they had Italian sausage, they had Italian beef, they had shrimp, they had all kinds of different mixed nuts and things and cheeses and such. And it was just so much fun. Now, I know a lot of Italians, a lot of Sicilians, also Italian, but they have fish, a lot of fish for the house. We weren't big on fish, but we had all the Italian food. So, and then when my mom and dad got older and they couldn't have the holiday, it was at my home. So, and I have a good sized home, and we used to, 35 people every Christmas Eve, and we've just had some of the most most enjoyable days. And my parents would be there, and my aunts and my uncle and all my brothers and sisters, their kids and everybody. And I always love to cook from scratch, and I feel like that's an ethnic thing too. I don't I really nothing, nothing processed, nothing pre-done. Everything's from scratch. So in a lot of Italian food, a lot of different types of Italian food I would make. And we had that for many, many years. We were blessed with my parents because my mom lived to be 90, my dad lived to be 92. So, it's just beautiful memories and bittersweet, right? Beautiful memories, as you can tell, I think of them and it just lights me up. But then it's on the other side of that, it's a little bit sad. But yeah, that's our ethnic thing. My family always celebrated Christmas Eve together more than Christmas Day.
Got it. Got it. Beautiful. Thank you for
Thank you.
sharing that. I actually know a little bit of Italian, dulce simpatica, and some bad words that I won't say.
Me too.
And then dove sei stato tutta la mia vita, which
Oh,
is,
beautiful.
thank you. Where have you been all my life?
I
Because
knew
my
the life
first
and the beautiful.
boyfriend was Siciliano.
Mm,
So
yeah.
in college, Joe Calera. So,
Mm.
oh no, wait, was it? Yes, it was. Okay. There's a story behind that one. But anyways, so yes, homemade, that sounds wonderful. Instead of me, I make a lot of reservations. But that's beautiful. So all of that is Italian. I know for me, Chinese. I know you thought I was Swedish, but traditionally in China, my parents did not celebrate Christmas. The big thing was Chinese New Year. That's the holiday. But when they are first generation, my mom is from Jiangxi, my father's from Suzhou or Shanghai, and they settled in. My dad went to where did he go? Not Cornell. That's my daughter. McGill in Montreal. That's where they met. My mom was a nurse there. They met, moved to Waterloo. And then so the Christmases were turkey stuffed with Chinese sticky rice stuffing. So that was the Chinese part of that. And so we didn't bake cookies. Chinese usually are not big on sweets. We do a lot of fruit. We have the sticky rice, moon cakes, things like that. Well, Moon Festival is another place, but we would also do hot pot, which is, some people know the Japanese version of it, which is shabu shabu. So you cook things yourself. That was our tradition when I was growing up. And making dumplings. Those were the two things. And dumplings are a symbol of long life. And then my ancient Chinese secret fried rice, 8-jeweled fried rice. That was also a tradition that I still do for my kids. And then we also would open one present on Christmas Eve, and then the rest of the presents on Christmas Day or Christmas morning. So that was my family's tradition. Now, yesterday, my co-host Yorona Boster is Jewish, and I shared that my mom was unofficially adopted by a Russian Jewish woman, so that she could stay in the country, actually. And so we also would have tradition with the Hanukkah and the menorah and the 8 days of when my grandma Anna and my grandpa Carl would come and visit, or we would go over there. And it's funny, my cousin on LinkedIn, I don't know if he's streaming today, but he reminded me that we would also I think maybe it was New Year's Eve, but we would go down the street with pots and pans and go back and forth. Josh Bennett is my cousin, and his sister Kendra. So that was a lot of good memories. A lot of good memories of family. So so share with your family this Christmas. I think I think, but the Dr. Marissa challenge, and I'm sure Colette will join me in this holiday season, when you're, maybe before dessert or after your grace. Um, there's two things that you can institute into a holiday to make it different and to make it happier, maybe than bluesy, or happier, better than Scroogey, is one. What are you grateful for? And I do this at Thanksgiving before we eat. What's one specific thing this past year you're grateful for? And you can do that at Christmas as well. You can have what's your favorite memory of, and then the person that you are missing. And it has to, and it's a happy memory. So, balancing out the blues with that, balancing out the humbug with that, are sure to help you have a happier holiday. Sorry, Colette.
No,
Your
no, that is I wanted to say that was an amazing idea. I was thinking of that. I kind of knew you were heading towards that before you even said it, but just an amazing idea because, and maybe, share your memories, go around the table and yeah, that's a beautiful idea. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
What else do you know about other religious holidays or ethnic holidays? I don't know enough about Kwanzaa, but I know that is certainly an important holiday for many African Americans and Black. So, are you familiar with that one? I'm going to pull this up.
Not really.
Okay.
But
Well,
one I would say is the Day of the Dead. I know that's really just a short precursor to the holiday season nowadays, but I loved that I teach at one of the schools that I teach at, NLU, is where I'm getting my PhD. Most of the students are minorities. There's a lot of Latino and Latina and Black people, and so. But one of the Latinas had made a table with an altar, which I've been, I'm spiritual. I love the idea of the altar, and I have some very old vintage framed poster that my great aunt, my mother's grandmother, originally owned. Anyway, getting off the subject, but they do that. They have maybe Our Lady of Guadalupe. They have pictures of their deceased ones. They have candles. And the first time I actually saw this was at NLU. It was, they had the festivities. And so, yeah, I love that. I love that idea and I know the Korean culture is somewhat like that too, with honoring the dead and putting their picture out, sometimes even putting food out and such that I've read. Which I think is beautiful. It's beautiful to honor them and remember them and think
yes.
about them and talk about them. So yeah.
Yes, beautiful. I'm going to pull this up and share it because I love doing research on the show. Kwanzaa is, let's see, annual celebration of African American culture from December 26th. I didn't know that. It's actually after the 25th, culminating in a communal feast called Karamu, usually on the 6th day. It was created by activist Malana Karanga, based on African harvest festival traditions from various parts of West and Southeast Africa. First celebrated in 1966. There you go. And there's 7 candles in a Kanara. Wow, that's super cool.
Very
See,
cool.
we're all connected.
Mhm.
Symbolize the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Interesting. Unity, creative faith, giving gifts, related to Pan-Africanism. Love it. Love learning new things for sure. So that's another thing. Dr. Marissa challenge, instead of complaining about the person in front of you in line shopping, having too many items for that particular aisle or register, start up a conversation. What's one thing that your family does special that's a little different for the holidays? And yeah, you can accuse me of getting too personal, but you're waiting in line anyways. And instead of ruminating about all the things that are wrong or how you're going to be late and how people are taking up too much time, which will lead you to complain, and then you'll fail the 21-day fast from complaining with Dr. Marissa. Say hello. How are the holidays? Instead of, are you getting all your shopping done? Which I think is a silly question. Are you ready for the holidays?
Are you ready?
Like,
yeah.
Please, I can't stand that question. Instead, what's the one thing your family does special during the holidays that you love? Practice asking that. What's your challenge, Colette?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. What would my challenge be? I think I think, I'm stealing in a sense, or just copying, or whatever you want to. But I think that's good. I think the challenge of, your traditions. What are you looking forward to the most about getting together? And reminisce, go through your memories of really happy Christmases. What did they consist of? What were they like? Visualize, remember what it was, and be happy. And think about, how we're blessed to be here again to celebrate yet another Christmas.
Yes, yes, yes. And again, my final word is, you always have a choice. You could have 9 horrible things happening and 1 good thing. You can choose to focus on that 1 good thing, or when you have 9 really good things and 1 not so good thing, you can choose to focus on that and let it bring everything else down. The choice is yours. So that is my last final word on this, another wonderful episode in our special series, Real Woman Talk. I hope you've enjoyed it. And Colette, I hope you have a wonderful time continuing to prepare for your holidays. And as you continue with your wonderfully challenging, but going to be future rewarding PhD for sure. Knowing that it also stands for piled higher and deeper.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr.
Absolutely.
Marissa. It's been such a pleasure. And I hope the same for you. Enjoy till we see each other again.
Yes, in 2 weeks, and you're going to have a great. What do you claim for your birthday? This is another tradition that I actually picked up from Agape as a member of the Agape International Spiritual Choir. What do you claim for this next year? So setting intentions for your next year.
Okay, well, continuing to love and care for my family, my husband. That's first, but then all the amazing creative ideas I can come up with for my research, finding vehicles to serve through that, and just I really, I'm enjoying what I'm doing now. So making sure I balance my time enough, and
So balance, inspiration, creativity, or what you're claiming for your birthday. We're at the end of the hour, so I am just going to say it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world. Peace through inner peace. This is Dr. Marissa and Colette Tracy on Real Women Talk here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. Now go and have the best day ever. See you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.